Hello everyone, this is Caesar on Toast and you're watching another episode of All the Mods 2, my 1.11.2 modded Minecraft series. And since the last video we've had a ton of updates, I think 3 in total, to the mod pack. These introduce mods like Immersive Engineering, there is Thermal Expansion and the kind of thermal brand of mods, which I'm very excited about. We've got Thermal Dynamics and there's another one I can't have. Thermal Foundation, there we go, and that adds like different tools and armor of the metals that mod adds. Then we've also got Redstone Arsenal, which I think goes along with Thermal Expansion. It's kind of the same style, and it adds these fluxed infused electrum items, and they are like regular tools, but they're charged with electricity, or redstone flux as it is. And then apart from that, there was another one, Just a Few Fish. And I don't know if we're able to see the results of that mod, but basically there are now models for all the vanilla fish that appear in the water in the world. I can't see any now, but I have been seeing them pop around. I did try and record an episode before, but I didn't think it was that entertaining, so I scrapped it. I want to bring you guys the best content. So I thought today we would work on Immersive Engineering, because that's a mod that I've never played with before, and I really want to give it a go. So the idea behind Immersive Engineering is that it forces you to make these big multi-block structures to create things. So if we have a look at the, if I can spell, at the items created by the mod, so we've got all these different kind of interestingly shaped models, conveyor belts, new ores and metal ingots and stuff. There's even weapons like railguns, chemical throwers and pistols, which I'm really keen to try out. And then I also noticed that there were chem thrower turrets, which I think is a bit like a flamethrower, and then these gun turrets which you put the revolver in, and I'm really looking forward to playing around with this. And so we're going to go ahead, and I think the way to start this mod, I'm using a guide for this, so I'll link that in the description in case you'd rather follow a guide than listen to my voice. So we're going to need books to start with, and I can't for the life of me remember where any of my books are, so I'm just going to craft one. And we also need a lever. And as with a lot of good mods that have well thought through development, they have added a book that will help guide us through the whole process. But I'm still going to use the online guide because sometimes I find books a bit tedious to go through. So the next thing we need, I said, was a lever. So we need a stick and a bit of cobblestone, unless I've got one in here. I might have used them all. Yeah, I reckon I used them all. So let's take this and take, hopefully we've got a stick. Yep, here we go. Really thrilling crafting so far this episode, guys, right? So here we go, Engineer's Manual from Immersive Engineering. So let's just take a quick flick through here. So they've got achievements, that's going to be gone in the 1.12 update. So here we go. I've got an introduction. Greetings, fellow engineer, and welcome to Immersive Engineering, blah, 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 blah. You can pause the video if you want to read this. I'm just going to... Wow. Interesting. That's definitely not what that's supposed to look like. So yeah, we need this engineer's hammer. So we need 2 sticks, 2 iron, and a string. And that's like one of the main tools that we're going to be using. So we've got 2 sticks, we've got our string, and then we keep our ores downstairs. I really need to sort out my storage system, but I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be using this world. I'm really using it to learn mods as opposed to do anything long term at this stage, I think. So this is why I kind of go for a different mod each episode, just to see which each one has to offer. So we got the hammer, and that is our introduction finished. Next we've got some diggy hole, yes, Yogscast I believe. And we've got different immersive engineering versions of ores that I think we already have all of them. Potentially not nickel. I don't know if we have nickel. Oh, nickel. And then we can process them into dust with the hammer. Oh, we really don't need to do that. Yeah, we've got machines that can do that for us. Then we can mix them into alloys. So you get this constantan. Which is constantan used for? Who knows? But I think the first thing we actually want to do with this mod is make this coke oven. And coke oven gives us a special kind of coal coke, where you put your coal in, it gives you coal coke and creosote oil. So if anyone played Railcraft, I think, used to have this coke oven. And this is basically used to fuel a blast furnace, which you then can make steel with. And so far we've only got the only good way I've got of making steel is from mechanism. So rather than sitting in menus all day, I'm going to go ahead and craft up some of these coke oven things, and I'll join you when I've got that multi-block structure created. So I've gathered the resources we need to make the coal coke oven. So we've got the bricks like this, and we've got our clay, and last but not least we have sandstone, and then we need 27 of these to make the 3x3 block structure. So we did gather a bit too many resources, but that's fine. Never hurts to have more than you need, because they'll probably be used for something else eventually. So here we go, coke bricks. So we get 27 of them and put them in a 3x3 structure like this, and last one's up here. Might have to make this look a bit better. And so when you actually create the 3x3x3 structure, you've got to complete it by right-clicking with the engineer's hammer. So there we go, coke oven. And doesn't look that out of place here. We might have to make an immersive engineering building eventually, but I think this is fine for our purposes for now. So here we go. We're going to stick in maybe half a stack of coal blocks. We don't actually have that much coal, but we can go mining and get loads of it. So we've got a progress bar up here. This is going to take a heck of a long time. But what happens is we make coal coke blocks. You see we've got 1% now. And I wonder, can we see those? So if we hit coal... Yeah, so we've got a block of coal coke, and it's got a 32,000 carbon value. That's interesting. So what's regular coal blocks? Can we see that? 16,000. So it effectively doubles the effectiveness of our coal and gives us creosote oil as our byproduct. So what can creosote oil be used for? It seems like it's also a forestry thing. I'm not sure if it has any uses by itself. Looks like there's a process in thermal expansion called pyrolytic conversion, where we can change things into better fuel sources and create creosote oil using energy. So that takes a redstone furnace and a pyrolytic converter augment. So that's kind of interesting that thermal expansion is taking that way of doing things. And we could even do it from something like sugarcanes or cactus. Never considered that before, but you can see that coke oven does it with no energy. And I'm not sure how much creosote oil we get comparatively, but it seems like a lot. And there's only 12,000 millibuckets, so 12 buckets worth of creosote storage in here. So we're going to have a way of taking the fluid out either by hand and putting the oil into a separate tank, or we automate it. So we're not actually going to be able to do all 32, because as soon as you fill up with creosote oil, which will happen after 2 blocks even, it'll stop creating until we make space for more buckets of creosote oil. So got to deal with that shortly. But anyway, the next thing we want to do using immersive engineering is to make this blast furnace. Now there is an advanced, this is crude blast furnace, there is an advanced version of this, but it takes steel already to create. So we're going to need nether brick and blaze powder, and it's another 3x3x3 structure. That's interesting. And I wonder how you make the advanced one. So that probably takes advanced. It probably takes steel in some way to make the bricks. I'm not seeing it here. If we maybe go on to the immersive engineering, it might not even be in this version. It was just talked about. Yeah, I'm not even sure that it is in the mod at the moment. It might have been in a previous update. Let's just check the book. Yeah, it's not there. Shaders. What? This book's really weird. I assume shaders was a graphical thing, but maybe not. There's also graphite. That was quite loud. So anyway, yeah, so we got to make this crude blast furnace, and for that we're going to need to go into the nether and gather some of this stuff. I wonder how much blaze powder we've got left, because I did go out and collect some before, and we now know where a lot of fortresses are in the nether. So we've only got 2, and we got 7 blaze rods. So if each one of these, let's see how good my maths is, we need to make 9. So we need 9 blaze powder total. So we actually got that. That's cool. So grab this, these give us 2 each, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we put one of these back. Excellent. And then we're going to need some of this nether brick. Fantastic, we've got enough. And then just regular brick. So we might not actually have enough regular brick, but we can go ahead and use our clay that we collected too much of. I said this would come in handy, didn't I? So we'll create that and stick all this into our crafting table. So I believe it was like this, and then we had these. Yeah. Oh, maybe not? Oh, wait. So there's actually a better way of doing this now. If you get the recipe wrong and need to rotate, you can just use this. I believe Quark adds this, potentially. Sorry if I got that wrong. But that is something that was present in another mod pack I played. And the mod pack largely featured Quark. It was the Proton pack. Very, very good mod pack. So I think we need another place for this, and we may be able to place it here, although I don't want it sticking out into the room. This is why I said we probably need to make a new place. So we can go ahead and bust out one of these walls, but they're all even numbers and this is an odd number thing. We could actually take this system out. It doesn't need to be in this spot, so let's just remove it. Ooh, I feel bad ripping things out, but it's got to be done. Sometimes you've got to just decide that things need to be moved. So here we go. When the actual design of your place is under threat. So let's just stick the machines away into my inventory like so. And we don't actually need to take all of this. We can deal with it later. And that is one block behind, so we gotta get rid of these. Then we got rid of these cables, and I will replace all this and make it nice and neat afterwards. But for now, we just need a quick and easy place to stick this crude blast furnace. Yeah, blast bricks we've got. So here we go. I would use the 3x3 Omni Miner, but I don't like being efficient sometimes, apparently. Especially when I'm recording, which is when I should actually take more care to do things the quick way. Ah well. A lot of my brain power goes into talking while I'm recording. I don't know if you guys do any recording yourselves, but it is actually quite hard to talk and build at the same time, especially. So here we go. We've got the blast furnace. That wasn't too bad. Just right click with the hammer, and we've got it. So I've actually neglected to work out what this does. I think you need to put the coal coke here, and then you put iron in the top slot. Let's just check that. So if we want to make steel, we got steel from Armor Plus. Infused lava crystals. So that's no longer going to be a good way of making steel, I feel like. We need the Immersive Engineering steel. We've got mechanism steel. We know how to make that. IC2 steel. Maybe just do the same thing we've been doing before. Immersive Engineering and then steel. These shortcuts are very nice. So it says we need an alkahestry tome, which is wrong. Maybe we check the book. Books are always right. So the crude blast furnace is used to increase the carbon contents of iron, turning it to steel. To achieve this, only pure high carbon fuels, such as coal coke from our coke oven here, may be used for the furnace, specifically coal coke and charcoal. Charcoal, interesting. Maybe it's charcoal coke. I'm not sure about that. Along with steel, the furnace will also create slag, which you must remove or the furnace will cease to function, in the same way that we've got the creosote oil here. So we can't just leave it on forever, is basically what it's saying. While technically a waste product, you can use slag to create concrete. Concrete's not bad. So yeah, we just need to put iron and the coal coke in. So once these things are ready, we'll go ahead. We're over 50% here, which is nice. And we can go ahead and put some iron blocks in here, and we'll start getting blocks of steel. And after that, I'm not too sure what we're going to do with this mod, but there are plenty of things to check out. So I will go away and have a little look at some of the machines here and what we're able to craft, and maybe we start making ways of producing things using the creosote that we've got and the slag. So it's concrete and treated wood, and wood and concrete seem like they would be very good materials to build with on a large industrial scale. And if we're going to be creating a lot of steel and coal coke, we're going to end up with more than we can handle. So I think we should go ahead and try and automate those systems. So I will have a look at how to do that using this mod, and we might also look at power generation and power transfer using it as well. It seems they've got these kind of cables that you can wrap from these wire connectors together. So they're like entities as opposed to what we've got going on back here with all these gold flux wires and stuff. And they come with different voltages as well. So we'll check those out in a little bit once I've got all these other things tidied up and neatened away. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. Hey, it's the next day now. I've done a lot of work on the world, and there has been another update to the mod pack, and I think it's made the zombies lose their spines or something, because they're all slouching over. What on earth? What? Oh my goodness, the animations! That's so cool. I love it. I'm gonna murder you though. I wonder if the other mobs have that. I also, so I played for quite a bit yesterday, and something must have broken because I logged back at... Oh my word. Okay, okay, my butt's flying. Wow, okay. I want to know what mod did that in the update. If anyone knows, let me know, because that's hilarious. So basically my player file got reset to all the way back when we were doing like Steve's cart stuff. So I really don't know what happened there. Very unfortunate. So I did spawn in things like an armored jetpack, free runners. I did have some things in my secondary inventory that were saved. I just want to see all these animations. Please let me watch. Okay, creepers are the same. Endermen are the same. That guy's he's having a great time. It might just be zombies and me. That's interesting. I guess they have the most humanoid models, so potentially easier to animate. But yeah, sad times. We lost some stuff, but I did a lot of work as well. Is he always going to be in that position when I go to the menu? Okay. Angel ring has become a funny item now. So we went ahead, and there was that old farm here that got broken by Animania, so I went ahead and tore out the entire mountain despite it. And instead we've now got this farmer that doesn't actually work with the, this is Industrial Hemp from Immersive Engineering, the mod that we were checking out today. And basically we need this, what should you call it? Let's just get a little bit. It's Industrial Hemp Fiber. And Industrial Hemp Fiber can be used to make a lot of things, such as rope. Let's just get it up here, and industrial. Rope, and we gotta hit you. Fabric, gunpowder barrels, hempcrete, which is like concrete, I imagine. Yeah, so these have lots of uses for our immersive engineering stuff. So we've got windmills, and you saw I had the watermill over there, and we've got curtains. Curtains could be nice. We could stick some curtains on our house. And so I'll go ahead. I don't think we can do much more with immersive engineering today. Just a heads up that the Actually Additions farmer doesn't work with the industrial hemp at this stage, but there might be an update to fix that in future. I also don't know if it's because it's a too high crop or what, but just a heads up about that. We went ahead and we cleaned up this build. So before, I'm not sure what it was, but we cleaned out two features of my massive farm building that were causing us a bit of lag, and you can see now it's very smooth when we go here. We did the oil setup at the start of an episode, and it's broken again. This thing keeps on locking itself out, so I've got to go in and reset it. So that's fixed it there, and it'll start running again. But basically, we've removed all the worms. We've got now this one water source up at the top, and we've also removed the system that brought all the crates down to the bottom, or drawers, sorry. And these were checking for inventories at a lot of different coordinates before they got to the bottom, so I wasn't sure if the cables were the best way to go in terms of optimization for the farm. So we are getting a little bit of lag here, and I think it's because of the crystallized oil thing that we just fixed, because that's triggering every few seconds or so and doing a massive transaction basically. So this is looking good, and I put a little fence on the top just to round it off. And then I think we're going to use this area over here to do farms for 2 tall crops, and that's something I'll do off camera. I want to talk about these treated wood planks from Immersive Engineering as well. I think they look very nice with the hardened clay. Just a really nice texture as well. Etho uses them a lot in his steampunk build, which does use a lot of the Immersive Engineering stuff. So this is made with wood planks and the oil. It's not canola oil. That's what I usually use. It's the creosote oil, which has now lost its texture in the update. With any kind of plank, we make the treated wood planks, and this is the wood that's kind of used. It's like living wood to Botania is treated wood to Immersive Engineering. And we use this to make our water wheel that's over there, and that's generating us a bit of power, but kind of not too much. I'll show that in a second. We went ahead, finished up the bridge here, added another layer of blocks to this. We're going to build an upper floor. I wasn't sure if I could do some Immersive Engineering stuff with this. We might turn it into a windmill, although I'm not sure how much sense that would make being in the little valley here. It would be more sensible to put the windmill somewhere like here. That's an interesting idea. But that's something we can work on next episode. Is this a cyberware guy? Yeah, it is. We want to kill all these. Yeah, I lost my really good sword. I'm very annoyed at that. Oh, what's this? Was it a radio thing? Cranial broadcaster. Slightly increases cyber zombie spawns nearby. That's exactly what I want. And this guy's so creepy looking. And he's got thorns. Yeah, love that new zombie animation. So here is our water wheel. This was made using treated wood, and we've connected it to a kinetic dynamo, which is made of copper coils and stuff. Then we've got a wire connector, low voltage, that is feeding into this LV capacitor, which is how you store energy from Immersive Engineering. So basically the setup for this, and half my world hasn't spawned in there, we've got a block, one water source that goes down and over, and then it flows underneath as well, just to get the optimal flow and the optimal speed for the water wheel. So we could do a building for that and a building for the windmill, just because I think having moving stuff in a world like that is very entertaining, makes it look alive. And if we're going to be doing Immersive Engineering, we should play around with all the stuff that it has to offer. So you'll notice a couple of changes when we come inside here. We no longer have the portal to the Deep Dark. I think that was disabled. I don't know if that's been put back up. But we weren't using it, so I took it out. We also had our cyberware set up in here, and I've gone ahead and moved that elsewhere. So this place is a little bit cleaner. We also moved out our Tinker's Construct benches that were there. So this place is looking a lot more well used. So we've gone ahead and changed the setup around the smeltery a bit. I think this is the biggest change we've got. So we've moved all our Tinker stuff to here, so that's all in one place. Got our tool forge. I think it looks pretty nice. We could do some expansion here. I deliberately just put a blank wall there, so we could potentially build out in this direction. I'm not so sure what's going to be there, but certainly room for expansion. And then I really like the look of all this stuff from the mod, so we should go ahead and scan this thing while we've got it. You use the cyberware scanner, and we need paper as well, darn it. Well, we'll just stick this thing in there for the meantime, and basically it'll give us one of these blueprints, which will then let us create copies of the material in the cyberware engineering table if we've got the components for it. So that's pretty nice. I'm gonna actually go grab some paper so we can do that. Oh, we went too far. I think I keep it in misc blocks for some reason. Yeah, so let's run down and place that there. So this little underground lab thing's working out really nicely. I'm glad that I extended into the other room. For sure, that was a good move, and now we've got plenty other space. I also realized I could have put the coke oven and the crude blast furnace in here with this other 3x3 structure, but I'm not sure if it would fit in with all the cables that I had in behind, so we're just going to leave it there for now. We've got this working. It's full of creosote oil, which the texture's gone, as we noticed earlier. We've got 16 coal coke, so I'm going to grab that. And then if you want to fill up buckets with creosote oil, you can shift click them in. Ooh, something might be broken. I think this update has broken my creosote oil. I maybe have to break this multi-block structure to fix it. I'm not so sure about that. Alright, so let's put that back, and we gotta tap it with the hammer. And are you fixed? Okay, that's one way to drain it, but it's also not ideal because we need the creosote oil for stuff. The treated wood, if I'm going to build with that. And I've got some steel ingots, and then we need to put the coal coke in, and we're getting steel. Wonderful. I decided doing it with individual coal and iron was better, and we're getting plenty of slag. I think that might be it, though, for everything that I worked on yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and call it for this episode, though. So thank you very much for watching, as always. And I've locked myself in here. Gotta dig my way out. What's the point in having a lever if you're just going to shut the darn door after you? So yes, thank you. I'm going to have to take this off. It's just so distracting. Oh, you can dance, oh boy. Yes, so thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye bye.